Cam, I would love for you to tell me about your vision. Why do you do what you do? And you can make this about all the really cool sizzle reels that you're doing for people and telling visionary stories and helping them out, or you can make this about family or life. I don't want to box you in. What's your vision, Cam?
All right. So I believe that the reason people get on stage is to change the world. Simple as that. I don't know. I've never met a single speaker who gets out there and says, I'm out here just to make some bunch of money. Like I'm sure they exist. I'm sure they exist. But it's just not the
Sure.
people I attract. But if I can enable a speaker to get on a better stage to like empower, transform, change the lives of more people, then me being that 1% person who can help them get there feels really good. And so it's like if I can
Yes.
do that, if I can just like keep doing that,
Yeah.
that to me is like a fulfilling life. And so I think like the vision is like how do we live more fulfilling inside? And I do that by enabling the right people to get on bigger stages and transform more people.
I love what you just, that's one of my favorite visions I've ever heard, Cam. It gives me massive goosebumps. Okay, here I was, 19 years old. I just got into Uruguay. It was my first Saturday in the country, and we were baptizing two little girls, 9 and 11 years old, and their 14-year-old sister came prepared to speak at this event, right? And she was crying because she was terrified. There was going to be like an audience of 6 people, probably felt like 6 million to her. And I take her to a room and I'm talking to her about like, hey, if you don't want to do this, it's okay. But do you mind if we say a quick prayer? And if you want to after, like you can of course do it. So she gets on stage and she does her thing, right? And she's just glowing and so excited, and this little confidence boost came in. The reason why this relates and why this is so important, visionaries, is this little girl, a couple years later, went on to serve a mission in Chile. And so here, my 2 year mission of helping thousands and thousands of thousands of people every day for 2 years, and knowing the impact that I got to create of that, then got extended to the other side of the continent where she got to do that for 18 months and help people. Now she's got a beautiful family, and the just having the opportunity to plant the seed of giving her the confidence and helping her get on that stage and do that, that for the rest of my life will be one of my most cherished memories.
Mhm.
And as Cam pointed out, we get to do it over and over and over. But Cam takes that to the next level and takes these visionaries and does these amazing sizzle reels that I'm going to put some links associated with this episode so you guys can see that. But definitely go over to his brand. His brand is thefrequentspeaker.com, and check out some of those sizzle reels. And you can see that I'll also give one other pointer for you visionaries out there. You can see that there's an amazing quality that exists from a production standpoint. And with some of these speakers, you'll see that they have a lack of content. I'm going to highlight that. This is not Cam's limitation. That would be their limitation. They need to have as much content as possible so that people like Cam can put together great reels. If my team spoke English, most of them speak Spanish that do the reels for me, they would be laughing hysterically right now because they've had to put together scissor reels with my lack of content sometimes. So there are limitations on both sides, but what Cam is doing for his clients, I'm already bought in. I'm like, golly, I've got to pick Cam's brain, bring him around more, see what we can do to help more of the visionaries out there. So if you have questions about that process, absolutely let us know. Cam, you talked about purpose, which just again that hit me so hard because it's the essence. It's what we're doing. These people that are going on stage, they do want to change the world. They may not feel they can do that. Um, what are some of your favorite aspects about the process of bringing people's vision to life?
I'm so glad you asked that question. I'm actually so excited to keep talking
Good.
with you because it's so exciting. I get so fired up. Like if you had to pick one thing about your business that you love, right? And we've all got stuff that we don't love. Like I don't particularly love doing payroll or taxes. I don't particularly love curating content. It's just not my favorite thing to do. I've got a team around me who supports me with the things that I don't love doing. But the one thing I love doing, and I will never give away, is the interview process. So let me tell you a quick story. So I had a
Yeah.
client. Her name is Christine, and you can see her demo reel in my portfolio. And when I worked with Christine, she said, "Cam, I participated in this program, and I've got this interview. It's not stage footage, but it's an interview. Do you want it to put in the demo reel?" I'm like, "Sure, why not?" I used to do podcasts. I know interviews. I can know a good one when I see it. And I watched this interview, and I was like, "This is like a 8K, 3 camera setup. It was like she had to physically mail me a hard drive because it, like the upload times were going to be like 8 days to upload, and I was like, it was
Jeez.
2 terabytes worth of video, and I was like, holy crap! How do I even like use this content? Because for anyone like video nerds out there, like it was filmed with Black Magic raw files, and it's just nuts. It's like crazy to work with. But what I saw in that was like a depth of story, kind of like what we're doing right now,
Mhm.
with from that speaker that I'd never done in any reel previously. And I think it's so interesting. Like any entrepreneur I speak with, you've got these kind of like bookmarks in your entrepreneurship journey, like when things changed, and all of a sudden you start to see that trajectory kind of like start to angle upwards a little bit more. And working
Mhm.
with Christine was that one moment, because I took in her interview and I said, that's it. From this moment on, any speaker who doesn't have content, any speaker who's lacking something, I'm going to interview them in depth, 90 minutes. I'm going to like get them I'm going to get them that content that they're lacking. And the first couple of times I totally botched it. Like, there's no
It's
there's no
hard.
fun story.
It's hard.
Like we were kind of figure it out and stuff like that. But you know what the key was like when I started to take total control and ownership of that direct success of that interview with the client. So I started to book a studio. I would book their videographer, and ultimately I would start to fly down to the speaker to interview them in person, because in-person interviews always land differently. That the little moments of like delays that happened in Zoom and like this call are totally
Yeah.
eliminated. You can kind of look around and say like, this scene is great, but I want it like this instead. So you can kind of take that total ownership. So I love to just encourage anybody, like
Mm.
any visionaries who are listening, right? Like the more you can demonstrate the that you are on the same side as your client, right? Like that you want to like you want to own their success with them, and because that's like you're both together, like rah rah, this is awesome. When I started to like do that, that changed my business. It changed the way that I did stuff. So that's kind of like I don't even know if I'm answering the question. I'm kind of gone off on a
Love it.
bit of a
No,
tangent,
I
but
love it. You
there's
did.
that one moment. There's that one moment where like she changed everything. I'll be forever in debt to Christine to like allowing me to work with that, because I don't know when I would have done that next, but that part changed the way that I do business, and that is it created opportunities to have deeper conversations with people, to interview them, to understand like the why this is so important to you. Like, why do you care so much about getting people to listen? That was her topic. Or I went to a speaker. He's a top 50 TED speaker. And he spoke just before Simon Sinek in one of his TED Talks on the TED
Mm.
stage, not TEDx, but on the TED stage. And to be able to interview him, he used to be a highway patrolman, and he's rescued over 450 people from jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge.
Mm.
And to hear his story and to ask him in-depth questions about that, like 'cause you don't get up on stage and start to like tell these stories of like, let's talk about suicide from stage, like unless you're hired for that. But to be able to like go in depth and asking those questions about the why does this matter and why is this important, it connects people through video. It connects people through this little like red dot that you have
Yeah.
in front of you in a way that's so different from just the way you portray yourself on stage, because all stages are performing. You're a performer when you get on
Right.
stage. You're not connecting with people. So that was like a big like shift for me. So anyway,
Oh,
there's
there's so
there's a,
many
there's a bit of a
things that
longer
I
answer.
wish I could expound on. I've got a mastermind to run in Spanish in 3 minutes that I got to prepare for, and I've got a concert performance on Saturday. I got contracted to sing and play the guitar. I've never done that before.
Oh, so
So this
cool.
is going to be a lot of fun, not on stage at least. It'd be really funny if I got contracted and I had never played the guitar. But it is a little bit more. I'm a little bit more prepared than that. Vision Pros. I want to stay on track with this stuff. This is huge. I'm probably gonna be a little bit late to my mastermind, but what I did ask Cam, as you noticed, he did answer. The critical piece about his answer, though, I don't know if you guys saw the passion, the fire, the tone, the cadence, the fact that he even got lost in the subject because he just cares so much. I mean, that's really what it was about, what he loved most. And if you as a visionary aren't connecting with your vision that way, if it's kind of cerebral or it's kind of like, oh, I'm gonna open a vape shop because there's one every corner now. It's like that. That's probably not your vision. That's probably not your purpose. It's something that drives you to talk with a passion that he just talked about and the expertise that he just talked about. So I love it, Cam. I'm excited to have you back on the show as well. If you're willing to come back, I would love to have you. There's so much more we can dive
100%.
into and help people with. Vision Pros, those of you who want to be on the stage, you don't need a sizzle reel. Most of our guests have not had them, and some of them are world-class speakers as well. even though they don't have it. So I'm going to be connecting Cam to them because I'm like, they need it. But you can come on as a first-time visionary and talk about it. It's in that button that says be our guest. It's on the right, left, down. I don't know where it's at. You'll find it. It says be our guest. Click on it and then just book your appointment to come on and share your vision. We want to help you reach your audience. We want to hear your vision. It inspires us to keep going and building our own. We'll see you guys all in the next episode. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here today. I'm really happy that you tuned in to Vision Pros Live. I'm looking forward to seeing your reactions as these episodes continue to move forward. This is going to get more and more fun. We'll have more and more engagement as well. We'll invite people to participate in the show. And thank you for giving us your time and attention. Have an excellent time building out your vision and becoming a Vision Pro yourself.